So what it takes to make those two adapters work together. Of course it can be done just with software update, and I see the point why DJI is not interested to make those two modules work together, just because that's gonna be a big selling point for DJI Osmo Pocket version 2 or whatever it's gonna call when it's gonna come out. So to make this work together, it will require hardware modification. What it means and what it takes, I will explain in this video. So I will split this video in two parts. In the first part, I will show you how this works together, and we will talk about pros and cons doing that. And then in the next part, I will show you exactly what it takes to modify the hardware. So now I demonstrate you how this all works and what we need to do kind of. So one important thing there is you need to keep the sequence how we are connecting our adapters with our Osmo Pocket. So the first must go wireless module. You need to wait till Osmo Pocket recognizes your wireless module, and when it's done, you can plug in your audio adapter. If you're not gonna keep that sequence, it simply won't work. So now at this point, let's go this way. I will turn on my Osmo Pocket. And as you can see, it's now on. I will plug in my wireless module. And as you can see, there was notification that wireless module is connected and the light is on. This means the wireless module is now fully working. If you notice, there is now charging icon, but as you can see, I'm not charging my Osmo Pocket. So about this one, why it's happening, I will explain you later in the video. But for now, let's keep with our audio adapter. So now I will plug in audio adapter. As you can see, we're getting notification that audio adapter is connected. At this point, our wireless module and the microphone is fully working, so I could plug my microphone straight away. I'm now using to record this audio, so I don't have external microphone to plug it in at the moment. But this doesn't make any, there no sequence need to be keeping that one. Only you need to remember before, when you're turning on, first must go your wireless module and then must go your audio adapter. So what's gonna happen if I'm not gonna do this? I will simply demonstrate it. So I will simply now turn it off. So I could simply unplug it, or I can keep it all the time on. So this is what's gonna happen if my wireless module and audio adapter is attached straight away. So I will turn it on. As you can see, audio adapter connected. So this means at this point the light is on, but the wireless module won't work because Osmo Pocket didn't recognize our wireless module. It only did recognize our audio adapter. This, why it's happening, I will explain as well later in our video. So if something like that happening, you turn it on and you forget, you can simply unplug your audio adapter. Now it shows that wireless module connected. And now I will simply plug in my audio adapter and it will again recognize my audio adapter. And now it's fully working. So that's the important part where we need to kind of keep in mind. So let me make one more demonstration with actually the phone itself, when you can see what's happening in the phone when we are using it with kind of wireless connection. So I'll just simply do something like that. So as you can see, it's already connected. But let me switch this one off. I will unplug my audio adapter. So my device is disconnected. So let me turn on my Osmo Pocket. Wireless adapter is connected. I had notification. As you can see, phone as well giving me notification that it found my Osmo Pocket. So I'll simply click connect. So as you can see now, my Osmo Pocket is connected with my phone. wirelessly. And if I will plug in now audio adapter, see, there will be now notification that audio adapter is connected and our microphone is active. So as you can see, this is probably enough proof that it's all really working, and there is like no kind of cheating on that. So yeah, so let's go now back to our discussion, and let me kind of explain all the pros and cons by doing this modification. So let's talk about pros and cons doing it. So the first and the biggest takeaway of this doing it is, of course, remote control. What I mean by that, so for example, imagine you can be two persons in one. For example, you can be your cameraman and you can be you. So let's say, for example, you will put your Osmo Pocket on a tripod, you have attached your wireless module, you have your microphone, and let's say you can get your wireless microphone as well, like Rode Wireless Go or something like that attached with this. You can go fully wires free. What it means, you can put your Osmo Pocket on a tripod, you can take your phone in your hands, and with attached your wireless microphone, let's say your lav mic is attached somewhere on you, you can step away 5-10 meters, you have your phone where you can monitor what exactly you are doing. You can frame yourself, you can start stop recording, you can take pictures, you can adjust settings, you can do so much more, and you don't need anyone else because you can do this all by yourself. So that's the biggest takeaway by doing this upgrade. Then the next big takeaway from this in my list of the pros is, let's say, for example, if you are going outside somewhere and filming something and you have many takes, you could stick with, let's say, for example, Zoom microphone. You can put it in your pocket, again attach your lav mic and record that sound, which will be in your kind of external recorder. But when you will get to your computer and actually put this all together, that will be nightmare to put this all together. So that is why that's the second biggest pro, that you don't need to kind of merge the audio and video together because everything is straight away in your Osmo Pocket. So the next pro in my list is you can make this setup. For example, you have your Osmo Pocket, you have your microphone adapter, you can plug in your phone and you can monitor kind of everything. But where is the problem? Your phone is draining your Osmo Pocket battery. So that's again no go, and you can't charge it because the port is used. You have good audio, you can monitor yourself, but your phone is draining your Osmo Pocket. So this is another pro making this, because that's gonna not drain your battery. Then the next pro of this one is you still will stay in this small form factor. So all this setup is still small, it's still compact, easy to use, and that's a pro in my eyes for this setup. And then the last pro in my list is that everything's still working as it was working before. So for example, if I want to use my Osmo Pocket just with microphone adapter, I can plug it in, it still works as it was working before, no changes at all. Then next example, let's say you have your wireless module attached to your Osmo Pocket and you are taking some sort of time lapse. So it can take a couple hours probably, and you want to charge it in that time. So you have now that possibility as well, because this port in the back is empty and you can still plug your charger in or your external battery and it still will work as it was working before. So that's another pro, that everything is still working as it was working before. So now those are kind of all pros I can find from this setup. Now let's switch to the cons list, where for me they are actually not a fully cons, but just partly of them, because again, for everything there is some kind of some sort of problems anyway in some ways. So the first con in the list is that charging icon. it will be here. It don't do anything, it just show up. If it annoys you, that's probably a con. For me, I don't care, so it's nothing for me. Then the next con in my list is charging ports. So if you're going this setup, you don't have any charging ports left over, so you can't charge it while you are using it. But again, let's say if you don't use your wireless module and you just simply plug in your microphone adapter, you still can charge it. So that's really not a con, because if you want a good sound, you can charge your Osmo Pocket. There is probably possible hardware modification where you could make some adapter where you had that extra port for charging as well, when you could use everything together, but that's not gonna stay in this form factor, so keep that in mind. Then the next one in my list is that you need to keep that sequence, how you are using it. So you need to remember that your wireless module always should go first. You need to let the Osmo Pocket recognize the wireless module, and when that is done, you can plug in your microphone adapter, and that's going to be recognized as the second one. So the sequence probably is again that small con in my list. And the last one takeaway from this is that you will lose the warranty if you will modify, of course, your wireless module. So those are the cons and pros by doing it. Now it's your choice to decide if you want to go this way and do it or no. For me, it was definitely yes, I will do this, because this gave me what I was looking for. Now, if you're still interested and want to see how it was done, keep watching the second part where I will show you exactly what it takes to modify the wireless module. So the real hero here is this guy here. This is his YouTube channel. His name is Nianeko or Nianeko. I don't know how to properly spell it, but he is actually the idea author. So I'm following him for a while already, and he had a couple more attempts before, and they was successful as well. As you can see, there was one idea and there was another kind of layout. But at that point, they looked just too big, too bulky for me, and taking something like that outdoors was like no go for me at all. So then he came with the idea that he can build this all inside the wireless module itself, and that actually gave me a green light to start looking into it and to do something like that myself. So as you can see, though, there was one attempt, that was another one, but form factor was important for me, and this was the way to go. So let's go to the end of this video where he's kind of explaining how DJI Osmo Pocket actually recognizes its adapters and how it all works. So as you can see here, we have USB Type-C port pin A8, which is responsible for resistance, which tells the DJI Osmo Pocket what kind of adapter is attached. So as you can see, the wireless module have 50 kilo ohms resistance, and the audio adapter resistance is 20 kilo ohms. So in a range from 22 till 100 kilo ohms, Osmo Pocket will recognize that unit as a Wi-Fi module, and if the resistance is between 15 till 25, then it will recognize it as an audio adapter. So in this area here, he is showing that if he will connect just Wi-Fi module and microphone adapter, that will be 50 kilo ohms plus 20 kilo ohms, but it's not calculating like that. It will give you altogether 14 kilo ohms, and that falls out from this range, and that unit not gonna be recognized. So in this setup, the microphone adapter won't be recognized because it's not falling into this range. So there is another attempt where he is adding another 20 kilo ohms in this line here. So now we have 50 from Wi-Fi module and 20 plus 20 from the adapter itself. It gives us 40, and we ending up with 20 kilo ohm resistance. So that falls in this range, and this audio adapter will be recognized at that point. So this is good way to go. There is another attempt where you can add 50 kilo ohms in the wireless kind of module itself. So that will be 100 together. This should fall in this range up to 100, and it should still recognize as a Wi-Fi module. And then we have microphone adapter itself, which have only 20, so 120 gives altogether 70 kilo ohms resistance, and that falls as well in this range, and the microphone adapter will be recognized because it's falling in this range. So in this case we will stick with this option here, so we will add 20 kilo ohms to kind of line where our microphone adapter is going, and this will make all this work. So from here, let's go here and see what else we have. I will link this video down below in description so you can find it, and yeah, you can watch yourself. Then there is as well pinouts where he's kind of showing what you need to connect with what and what you need to kind of disconnect. And there will be another look how it's gonna look. He's drawing as well and showing everything, so you can just watch this video and see yourself. Then he will provide as well some images, so they are enlarged. So imagine this USB Type-C connector is around 8 millimeters wide. So imagine how small space is where we are actually working. So this pin is around like 0.5 millimeter wide. So this is where we are working, and yeah, the precision is very, very important because this unit is small and you can go wrong very, very easy, and that unit can go to the bin. So there is a couple more images where he is showing how he is kind of connecting everything and adding in. So you can watch this video and see yourself. I don't have my own video because at that point when I was doing that, I never had idea that I will even provide such a content, but it is there. And yeah, I have only a couple images which I made myself from my build, so I will show you now. So this image here, as you can see, I opened it already, my Wi-Fi module, and those are the resistors. You need only one for this build, but as they was not selling for one, I was buying kind of a batch, so I have spare of them. So in this next image you can see this is under microscope, so it's enlarged many times, and there I'm actually cleaning off the protection from the lines itself so I can connect the new lines, solder in. And this last image here is where I put everything back together already. As you can see, it looks exactly the same as it was looking before. There is no marks, anything. If you do it proper way, you won't be even to tell the difference that it was actually ever opened and modified. So, but yeah, from there it all will work, and your microphone adapter will be able to connect with your Osmo Pocket, and you will be able to use it as I'm using it. So from here I will tell you what probably you will need. So first thing, of course, you need the resistor itself, so it's 20 kilo ohm resistor you need to get. So I got my ones from eBay. You can get them probably if you have some local shop where you can get the parts, you can got there, or you can get them from eBay or any other online shop. Of course, you will need some other bits and like tools, small ones, like let's say you will need those wires so you can connect them. You will need something sharp to cut the lines, and probably some alcohol to clean everything up, and so on, so on. Then from the bigger kind of tools, you will need probably heat gun. So heat gun you need if you want to open it nicely so it looks exactly how it was looking before. There is a foam underneath which you need to take off, and it's glued with double-sided glue. So if you will preheat it a little bit, it will be easier to remove it. Don't go too crazy, don't melt it. Be careful with that. So just that note, and then you will get to the screws which you need to open, and all the unit will come apart easily. Then the next one important thing, you need a soldering iron. So that should be with very, very fine kind of end, because like I said, we are working probably in area which is 0.5 millimeter wide. So imagine how small area is. So your soldering iron should be very, very fine and small. Then the next one, you probably will need a digital microscope. In the situation when you will cut the lines, you definitely need to see with microscope what you are actually doing, because if you will cut too far, you will damage something what you don't need, and your adapter will go to the bin. If you're not gonna cut properly, again, it's not gonna work. You will have probably some problems. So digital microscope, in my view, is must have. Then the next, probably you will want as well multimeter. So multimeter, just to double check that you really broke those lines, and just to double check that you really connected the new lines which you are connecting. So next thing you probably will need is hot glue. I was using hot glue to kind of fix everything after I soldered it in. So all the wires and the resistor itself, so it nicely sits in a place and not going anywhere around. So that's gonna avoid that there can get some shorts or something in a circuit and can damage it. So that as well is probably must have. Then the next thing what you definitely need is some skills. If you don't have skills with soldering and doing something like that, don't even think about doing that. You 99% will go wrong and you will damage it. If you have only 100% sure that you will actually be able to do this, then go and do this. But if you are not familiar with with this work, just simply find somebody locally who can do this for you and just give it away and let somebody else to do this who has skills. And yeah, if you are doing it yourself again, you will need probably a couple hours. For me, first time when I was doing this, took me like 3 or 4 hours. Don't remember exactly, as it was a couple months ago already. So that's probably everything you will need. So as you can see, you need quite a lot of tools, and if you are not doing this and they don't have at home already, the investment probably you will need is going to be quite high. So again, I would point you that probably it's better choice to find somebody who can do this for you. Then the bit where I was talking about that charging icon is showing up when you are plugging in your adapter. That's happening because we are connecting this B4 with this bit here. We need this connection to short, otherwise the setup will not work. And just because we are connecting this line here, this is making that icon to pop up. It's not charging, of course, at that moment, and nothing is happening. It just shows that icon. But yeah, this is why that icon shows up, if you are curious why it shows up. So this is must have. If you disconnect this line, that icon will go away, but your setup won't work. So this is must have. Then the next thing what I wanted to tell you is neither me and neither the idea author is not taking any responsibility of what you will do yourself. It's all your responsibility, and we are just showing that there is way out at the end of the black tunnel, and you can do this yourself. Or like I said, just give it to somebody else and they can do this for you. I may help with this modification if you are somewhere in UK or near UK. You can send me your wireless module and I will modify it. But remember, it's not going to be free because it's my time and I will take responsibility of what I'm doing. So reach me out. The email will be down below in description. And yeah, so let me know how you feel about all this modification. Leave the comment down below. As you know, my setup is not done yet completely because I'm looking for fully wireless solution. So I'm still waiting for Rode Wireless Go, but at the moment this is not the probably best time to get it done. So this will stay for a while in the future, but at the moment I have a couple more bits with me already, which I add into my setup to make it even more like nicer and smaller. So if you want to know about that one, subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for the next video where I will show you a couple more bits around the Osmo Pocket and its adapters and connections, what's working, what's not. So if you are interested, stay tuned and I will see you on the next one. Ciao!